All right, guys, a nice win for the Utah Jazz and some incredible signs from this game if you're a Jazz fan and for the Magic fans out there. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd postgame show. All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you go to prizepicks.com and sign up with promo code HoopsNerd. They will match up to $100 on any of your entries. So if you put in $10, they will give you $10 for free. It's free money on me. Go to prizepicks.com or download the app PrizePicks. Use promo code HoopsNerd. It supports the channel. It's free money. It's a lot of fun. Go try it out. I enjoy it. I have a blast doing it. You go try it out yourself. Promo code HoopsNerd. All right, we're done. We're done with the ad. This was a fun game for the Utah Jazz. By the way, that's a lot of yellow. I chose yellow today. That is yellow. But anyways, the Utah Jazz got a nice win. Another close, exciting game for the Jazz. If there's one thing that happens with the Utah Jazz, it's that they will be in a close game. It will be fun, and you're not quite sure how it's going to end. Let's just get this started. So this game, the story of the Orlando Magic is Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, and they are quite the wing duo. Them in the really fun. 26 points for Franz Wagner. 26 points for Franz Wagner. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, plus 14. That was one of the things in the draft that was really interesting about him is he was going to be a plus defender for whoever he went to. Maybe not like a incredible lockdown guy, but someone who could play really good defense within a scheme. And, 4 steals, that shows it. 10 for 20 from the field, 5 for 10 from 3. He was a monster tonight for them. 26 points on efficiency. It's crazy. And he was one of those guys they thought, I don't know if he has much upside. He's just someone that can contribute right away. Well, he's doing more things every season. And every time I watch him, it seems like he's just getting better, especially tonight. He just showed a lot of different things. That Euro step he's doing is really good. So it's just fun to see him improve and become better and just improve on his game. Paolo Banchero is it's obvious with him and the talent that he has that he an absolute superstar in this league. He is so big, and his size and his ability to bully his way to the rim and score was on display tonight. Holy cow, 19 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. He was really, really good for them tonight. The 3-point shot wasn't quite falling. If it was, they might win the game. But it wasn't, and the Jazz won. But anyways, you can just see it with Paolo. He is looking fantastic and just looks like an absolute superstar of the future. And so if this Magic team can get one more stud, maybe that's Jonathan Isaac when he comes back. I don't know. But if they can get one more, if they can have a big 3 with whoever they get next, then this team is going to be really good for years to come. And even if they don't, if they can just manage this team well and get some of these guys to improve, that would be great. One of the players, and I just want to talk about him, is Jalen Suggs. I really wish they'd trade Cole Anthony and just give Jalen Suggs all the minutes. I love Jalen Suggs, and I don't know why it hasn't really quite worked out yet, but he just seems like someone who's going to eventually win the Most Improved Player award because there are so many things to like about him. I like his size and everything he brings to the table, and he could be that third guy. He just hasn't, and I'm sure this Magic team is just frustrated he hasn't really turned into that. But they've got to be excited about Wagner and Paolo Banchero. They are awesome. And Wendell Carter has just turned into a nice player for them. Tonight he had a really nice offensive night. Look at that. 7 for 13, 2 for 4 from 3, 10 rebounds, doing a little bit of everything. They traded, what was his name? Who did they trade to the Chicago Bulls for Wendell Carter? Vucevic. Is it Vucevic? And Wendell Carter just becomes maybe a better player. I mean, that went really well for the Orlando Magic. Really, really well. And I just got to say, we heard a lot of it during the year, but I could be wrong. And, let me know in the comments if I'm being crazy here. But I think Victor Wembanyama, is going to be better than Bol Bol. That's just my take. I don't want to be too crazy. I don't want to be too out there. I don't want to get canceled. But I think Victor Wembanyama is going to be better than Bol Bol, because there were people comparing Bol Bol to Wembanyama, and I don't want to offend anyone, but he's not looking like Victor Wembanyama to me. All right, that's all I got for the Orlando Magic. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Let's see. The story of this game is Lauri Markkanen, and honestly, I'm kind of getting to the point now where I think he's just an absolute stud, absolute superstar. Markkanen was 4 for 13 from the field, and if you didn't, I tried to cover the screen, but it's the video. How do I cover this? I don't know. If you didn't, it's like someone trying to marker on the screen so you can see it. But the brain's not working very well tonight. All right. Anyways, Lauri Markkanen shot 4 for 13 from the field, and he did shoot great from 3. He took 6 threes. So, but if you saw this, you'd think, oh man, not a great night. He took 21 free throws tonight. This is superstar stuff. Incredible. This is a talent that I did not. I mean, there are so many things that Lauri Markkanen has done since he came to the Jazz that I was like, I didn't know he could do that. You know, with like the transition stuff, with the turnaround mid-range shot, with his cutting to the basket, all these different ways he scores within the offense. This element of his game that I mean, I don't think he was doing this ever before the Jazz, but 21 free throws. I mean, he is just relentlessly going to the rim. The first quarter of this season, I was a little I kind of wondered, is he a little bit soft? Is he one of those guys that's not willing to kind of mix it up, and can he be bullied a little bit? That has absolutely changed, because you don't do this if you're not tough. 21 free throws, that means you are getting fouled 10, 11 times, and some of those fouls are hard. So he is going to the basket with absolute intensity, and he's going to the rim, and he's getting fouled, and he's figuring out how to do it. He's so tall and so long. He creates so many mismatches in those situations, especially when he's at the 3, because who's as big as him? He's like 7 feet tall, but he moves like, Franz Wagner. It's crazy. So when he goes to the basket and he goes up and he's got those long arms, he gets fouled. You could watch every single one of those fouls, and he earned every single one. And some of them were bailout fouls. Like, Cole Anthony, who I do not care for as a player very much, just had to foul him multiple times because he's 5'4", shorter than me, So he has to foul him to keep him from scoring. So this is incredible for Lauri Markkanen to be able to do this. It's incredible. I just can't emphasize enough how big a deal this is, because if he can continue to do this, I mean, sky's the limit. The Jazz are really seeing the development with Lauri Markkanen that we just didn't quite see before, and now it's just all coming together. Really great sign for this Jazz team. It's a great sign that this Jazz offense brings out the best in people. It's really nice to see. So it's just got to be happy for Markkanen, who, by the way, if you listen to Zach Lowe's podcast with Bill Simmons, they say he's an absolute lock for the All-Star team. Like, just mark it down. In marker. Permanent marker even. He is an All-Star in 2023. Pretty amazing what has happened. I mean, how good was that trade? I mean, honestly, a win-win for both sides. At least this season, the Cavs get Donovan Mitchell, who's having an all-time season. And then the Jazz get Lauri Markkanen, an All-Star. Plus those 3 picks down the road. What an amazing trade for the Jazz. And then Colin Sexton, who played big-time minutes tonight, and good minutes. It feels like he's growing within this offense as well. So just really impressive stuff by the Utah Jazz front office. And that's just the Donovan Mitchell trade. Shall we talk about Walker Kessler and what the Jazz got in the Rudy Gobert trade? Oh my gosh. Tonight, Walker Kessler played just 26 minutes, which feels like he played more. Right? Doesn't it feel like he played more minutes because he just was making play after play after play while he was on the floor. Tonight he was 5 for 6 from the field. He had 9 rebounds. He had 7 blocks, a near triple double with 13 points, a near triple double with blocks again for Walker Kessler, who is just absolutely. I love him. How painful has it got to be a Timberwolves fan right now to look at what Walker Kessler is doing and realize like they could have just used Walker Kessler and they didn't need to make the Rudy Gobert trade. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. And I know Rudy Gobert is an all-time defender and Walker Kessler is not on his level just yet, but I wouldn't put it past him to become that type of defender because the things he was doing tonight were unreal. Like unreal. I can't get over how good he's being, and he's going to get better. You know, offensively, he's going to add stuff to his game, but he's already got soft touch. He already can kind of make a little hook shot and do a few things around the rim. That means he's an offensive threat, and that's just going to get better. We don't know if he can ever shoot from distance. He's not like an elite free throw shooter, so I don't think that portends to him being a outside shooter, but never say never. But I don't know if we are ever going to see that, but who knows? I wouldn't say, I don't know. We've seen weirder things, but anyways, but the fact that he has nice soft touch around the rim, he has a hook shot, he can find ways to put the ball in the basket means that he has to be guarded by other bigger defenders. You know, if they put Cole Anthony, 5'2" Cole Anthony on Walker Kessler, he's putting that in. That was not something the Jazz could always rely on last year with Rudy Gobert. Just wasn't. But with Walker Kessler, that element makes him dangerous. It does. And so it makes him a two-way player, which is incredible. And yes, DWCB, blocker Kessler, 7 blocks. He just has an absolute natural gift for blocking shots. Obviously, it helps that he's so tall and so long, and he's just, he just is built like an NBA. He's just built like a center. You know, when you think center and you see Walker Kessler, you say, that's a center. Right? When Walker Kessler was 10 years old, I bet you he played center on his junior Jazz team, right? Or whatever they play in Atlanta. I think he's from Atlanta. Atlanta. Anyways, whatever. He just has a natural gift for blocking shots. He had 5 block shots in the first half and 7 for the game. And honestly, he probably could have got more. He only played 26 minutes. Will Hardy, we got to get this triple-double. You only play Walker Kessler 26 minutes. And I know they have a back-to-back. We're going to be back tomorrow. But 26 minutes, if he plays 32, I wouldn't be shocked if he has 8 or 9 blocks. His block rate is incredible. Look at this. 26 divided by 7. What is that? Who knows how math works? 7, 14, 21. That's almost 1 block every 3.5 minutes, right? Incredible. And yes, Shantheric, just a nice guy. Just a good dude. You know? Amazing. He's a rookie. This is a rookie stat line. I can't get over it. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks, highly efficient, and he hit 2 free throws when it mattered most. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jordan Clarkson, he had a kind of one of those Jordan Clarkson nights where he's not rebounding. Although, look at that rebounds from Clarkson. That's an outlier. That's incredible. 12 rebounds on a random Friday, I guess. 23 points, 7 turnovers. So Jordan Clarkson struggled tonight. That right there, 7 turnovers. And Will Hardy mentioned turnovers. That's tough right there. 7. Nickeil Alexander-Walker got the start, and it was pretty rough. He just didn't quite have it tonight. There are nights when Nickeil Alexander-Walker is pretty awesome, and tonight he had a down night. And it happens, and it's going to happen here and there, and it's probably why in the long run he's likely a backup point guard. But if he can become a high-level backup guard, that's great. And sometimes backup guards have to start, and they don't have great nights, and that's just normal. Colin Sexton had a big night, and they don't win the game without Colin Sexton, especially that big-time shot at the end of the game. He did miss those 2 free throws in a row that would have kind of put the game away. But you know what happened is those 2 free throws didn't go in, and Walker Kessler just showed another element of how dominant he is going to be. That offensive rebound was incredible. He is showing just an absolute, his force inside, and he's going to get stronger. Like, he hasn't had a full 2 or 3 seasons of NBA conditioning and training where he's just going to get more stronger, more fit, more athletic. You know, it's going to be pretty awesome to see what he Walker Kessler. So thank you, Colin Sexton, for missing free throws so we could see Walker Kessler have a big time moment. But anyways, Colin Sexton, when he's, honestly, the efficiency is really good with Colin Sexton. And it was really good in Cleveland, too. A lot of the questions were about kind of does he have too much tunnel vision when he has the ball? Is he not seeing his teammates? And we still see that sometimes tonight. There's times where it's just very obvious. His vision, if it was NBA 2K, not super high on the vision meter. He kind of does get tunnel vision. But it does seem like he has a willingness to move the ball, which is good enough. And what we do know is that he can score. This season, he's having a really nice. I mean, look at this. This was the year with the injury. His first 3 seasons, the 3-point percentage was there, and he's back to shooting at a high level from 3. 39% is above NBA average. That's amazing. Field goal percentage, he's having a career year with his field goal percentage. So this right here is got to give credit to Will Hardy, who's setting up a system in Utah that allows players to score at a high level. I mean, look at what's happening with Lauri Markkanen. You see this with Colin Sexton. You come into the Jazz offense and you score at a much higher clip. It's also kind of a bad sign for someone like Rudy Gay, who just cannot seem to score. So yeah, we know Rudy Gay pretty washed. Can we give a big shout out to Ochai Agbaji? The Jazz won this game by 4 points, and look at this: Colin Sexton on plus 17. Ochai Agbaji was a plus 23 in a 4-point win. That's. I know plus minus is about as noisy a stat as there is, but there's something to be said for being plus 23 in a 4-point game. When Ochai Agbaji was on the floor, the Jazz were gaining ground, basically. And interesting that Malik Beasley was a minus 20. Holy cow. 4-point win. Malik Beasley was a minus 20. He struggled. So, I don't know. But here's the thing. And this is something I think about here and there. If you want to win basketball games, and if you want to have long-term success as a basketball team and go to the playoffs multiple years, and it's the reason why the Utah Jazz, the last chapter with Donovan and Rudy and the older players just eventually would just kind of fail in the playoffs, you need young, athletic players on your team, on the floor. You need them. Ochai Agbaji is like 6'5", and what is he? Yep, 6'5". He's 6'5", and he looks every bit of that 6'5", and he's long, and he's muscular, he's athletic. He has everything you want in a young guard wing. He goes out and he gets rebounds. Like, he got a couple offensive rebounds in this. How many? Let's see. Oh, 2, exactly. He had 2 big-time offensive rebounds, and then you just can combine that with 3 defensive rebounds, and then he's playing defense. Like, this right here is a sign of defense, too. So you just need these young, athletic players who can go out and can go defend very hard on someone like Banchero or Franz Wagner. You need those guys. You need those guys. It's a big reason why Utah couldn't win those playoff games, because they just didn't have the athleticism to keep up. You had Donovan, who's obviously very athletic, and you had Rudy, who had his defensive prowess, but who else on the floor was bringing athleticism? It wasn't Mike Conley, and Royce O'Neal is strong, but he's not athletic like this. And Bojan Bogdanovic is not athletic either. So you can see why the Jazz would just struggle defensively. Now they're bringing in athletes. You have Ochai Agbaji out there. Walker Kessler brings that defensive. Lauri Markkanen's a better defender than I thought, and he uses length well, and he tries, But this is why Utah would be smart to just go out and get the most athletic wings they can in the draft. And if Ochai Agbaji, if that 3-point shot starts falling with more regularity and he starts taking more of them, it's very clear how nice he could be. And I could see him being like the 5th option on this Jazz team as a starter, because if he can knock down that 3, but then also bring athleticism and everything that comes with that, his size and length, can he improve as a defender and then bring the ability to rebound the ball? I mean, you can just see how impressive and how effective he could be, And I think, honestly, all he needed was some belief, both belief in himself and belief from the coach. There was a point where Will Hardy said 2 weeks ago, we're going to play Ochai Agbaji. It's time to play Ochai. And ever since then, he's started playing much, much better. And I think some of it's just a confidence thing. It's hard to go out on the floor and feel like you've got to look over your shoulder constantly. Like, any mistake and you're going to be pulled. Well, he's playing with confidence, and that's showing. And he's also showing some things where he drives to the hoop, and he can really, he's got He's got hops, guys. He's got burst, and he jumps and he gets up there. So he's just going to get better. Watching Ochai Agbaji is going to be one of my little, just like, I don't know. It's just going to be one of my favorite things is just to watch Ochai Agbaji develop because he's fun. You think Quinn Snyder would give Agbaji more than bit time? No way. No way in hell. Are you kidding me? Quinn Snyder only cared about players that could run his system. Literally, that's all he cared about. You know? And, you know, the players that could run the system played. And that was that. And if you were athletic and you made like a really athletic play, but it wasn't within the system, he didn't like it. Well, you know what? Will Hardy says, you know what? Go make an athletic play and make something happen and you'll get more time. And I love it. I love Will Hardy so much. You know, maybe down the road things change. Who knows? But I love Will Hardy. I love Will Hardy. We have the offense I dreamed about for 7 years under Quinn. We have it. We have an open offense, read and react, allow the players to play to their strengths within the offense, make quick decisions, and do what makes them good. And that's what's happening with Ochai is he can go out and make plays with his athleticism. He doesn't have to study a dictionary manual of what the offense is and do well. What he can do out there is go and cut to the basket. By the way, we have cutting in this offense. We haven't had cutters for 7 years. It's one of the easiest ways to score a basket is just having cutting to the rim. And I know having Kessler out there kind of makes that a little harder. Having a guy just sit in the dunker spot on offense is a little tough. And so that's why I think here's another thing I like about Walker Kessler. I think there's times where he's going to be perfectly fine sitting on the bench. You know, there'll be times when the Jazz get Victor Wembanyama and they have a 5-out spread offense that Kessler might be fine just going to the bench and then allowing the Jazz to have a 5-out offense. And then what that does is just allow you to have cutters to the basket and just get easy buckets. And I'm not saying you can't do that with Walker Kessler on the floor because you certainly can. But it's going to be just be fun to watch Walker Kessler develop, and it's going to be fun to watch Ochai. And just having more players like this. This is the prototype, guys. This right here. This is the future of Jazz basketball. And you can see it in the moves that Danny Ainge has made. These guys that are big, long, athletic can make plays. Jared Vanderbilt, same thing. 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is, long, athletic, defends. By the way, Vanderbilt had a nice night. Comes off the bench. Walker Kessler got the start tonight over Jared Vanderbilt. Some of that may be just because and Kelly Olynyk is out, but fun to watch. But yeah, athleticism is the name of the game, and that's what Ochai Agbaji brings. And if you are an athlete, you can defend, you're a willing passer, all these different things. If you have a handle, then all of a sudden we're talking about superstar stuff. But if you can hit threes and be an athlete, oh man, you have a spot on this Utah Jazz team in the NBA. That's just, I mean, honestly, it's just kind of a requirement. If you don't have athleticism and shooting, but athleticism is probably more important. I would argue it's probably more important. Because guess what? When you have athleticism, you put pressure on the rim with offensive rebounding, something the Jazz really do. They really put pressure the rim for offensive rebounds. Athleticism shows up in transition. It shows up on defense. It shows up with rebounding. Athletes make plays. You need athletes. And so that's what the Jazz are going to keep doing. And for the next 10 years, we have so many draft picks, guys. You know how many athletes are going to come through this Utah Jazz team? A lot. And it's going to be amazing every single time. I mean, this Jazz team in like 3-4 years is going to be ridiculous because of the athletes that are going to be on this team. And you can bet those are the kinds of players they're going to look for in free agency next year, at trade deadline now. By the way, the Jazz are going to make a trade. It's coming. It's been reported by like 4 people now, including Tony Jones, all these different national writers, Amick, all of these guys. It's coming. Chris Mannix. It's going to come because they need to get a big-time athlete star in this draft, like a Cam Whitmore, someone like that. Can you go get Cam Whitmore? Can you go get Asar or Amen Thompson? Can you get one of those guys in the top 6 or 7? GG Jackson or whoever. Brandon Miller. I mean, Brandon Miller might be on this Jazz team next year, guys. Could you imagine Brandon Miller with Lauri Markkanen? Oh. DJ Jackson's like 6'9", 6'10". He's like doing what Lauri Markkanen does. Could you imagine having two wings at like 6'10", 6'11", doing what they're doing? I mean, who's guarding that? And how do you score on that? It's crazy. It's crazy. JC, it sounds like the Jazz want to re-sign JC, but there was a report today that came from, I can't remember who it was, some random reporter. So it's kind of like, eh. But he said everyone outside of Markkanen and Kessler is tradable. Take that for what you will. All right, should we, we're curious. Let's look for the Jazz. Jazz won today. They're now in the 8th seed. No! No! The Jazz are still 3-7 they're left. All right, so it's now time to go Tankathon. But first, no. My computer shut off. All right, we got to pull this up. Guys, by the way, thanks for being here on a Friday night. This is a lot of fun. And I always appreciate everyone who comes and joins the channel and supports the channel. All right, guys. It is now time for our nightly Tankathon draw. So, Utah is out of the lottery with their win tonight. Boo! We have the 14th pick with Minnesota. No! No! Stop it. Interestingly enough, they have 23 losses, which is close to like the 8th spot. Man. 25 losses, they'd be in the 6th seed. God darn it. All right, let's see. Who did the Jazz get in this lottery? Boom. Let's see. Ah, we don't win this time. Houston gets the #1 pick for being absolutely putrid, but good for them. Portland jumps 7 spots, and they get Amen Thompson. Oh, my gosh. Oh, they've upgraded the mock draft. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. Look at this. Grady Dick rising to 9. Absolute lights out shooter. Are they still not Rose? Where's GG Jackson? Still at 22. I don't agree. He's really good. Anyways, the Jazz get the #14 pick. That's Kyle Filipowski, a center from Duke. I don't think they're going to draft a center when they already have a center in Walker Kessler. Tariq Whitehead's showing some stuff lately, guys. I mean, he was, I think, like one of the top 2 high school recruits, and he has not looked great, but lately, this has gone from red to like medium. He's looking pretty good. The Jazz are getting someone out of this draft. I want Cam Whitmore on this Jazz team, baby. Oh my gosh. We got to scam for Cam. We got to do something. Lose more for Whitmore, okay? Please. Please. If we end up with Cam Whitmore, I'm happy. I'm happy. Go look at some Cam Whitmore. He looks like he's going to tear the rim off every time he shoots it. Come on, Jazz. What are you doing? Come on, Danny. Danny. Get the trade done, okay? Good heavens. Oh, I just got approved for shorts on monetization on shorts for YouTube. And with the success of my last short on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I'm going to do a lot more of that. Hope you guys are excited. All right, we still got to give a shout out to our All-Stars. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, they changed the wording. It's not monetization, it's called earn. All right, let's see. Let's go. By the way, guys, thank you for being a part of this channel. I appreciate all of you more than you know. All right, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars. Let's see Lexa Later, Bill Ford Tough, Alexander Tufts, Jared Chanderville, Shan Therick, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de Bajo, Baby Elliott Manson, Jordan the Goat Besserell, Just Buckets JB, Zap Watts, Total Game Domination, TGD, Christian House, Money to Haas, Tyson Price, The Price is Right, X marks the spot for Zintas, Joshua Hansen, The Danish Destroyer, Ezekiel Bryce, the Manfred Down Under, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, Donald Schooley, schooling all of us, DW to CB, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, Patrick Kubo, the Connoisseur, and Robert Hall of Fame. PGD, win less, win more. I like it. I like it a lot. But yes, I actually think, Zach Lowe said that Lauri Markkanen's a lock for All-Star team. And I think now that they know that he's going to make the All-Star team, it's that and also just getting to that first week of February is when the trades are going to come. The trades will be plentiful like the salmon of Capistrano. Okay? It's coming. Get ready. And we'll be here talking about it. You can bet. All right, guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel and go sign up for Prize Picks. Go put down $5 on something or somebody. Go have some fun. It's honestly a blast. I will talk to you